Hey foodies, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my Gadget kitchen. Today I'm making slow cooker cheese stuffed meatballs and I'll be using my Breville Smart Oven Air. This is a tasty recipe that I've been meaning to try for 2 years and I finally got around to it. Here are the ingredients that I'll be using. I've got some bread for homemade breadcrumbs. I'll be using some black pepper, kosher salt, Parmesan cheese, garlic, couple eggs, some string cheese, granulated onion, granulated garlic, Italian seasoning, and I've got 2 pounds of ground beef. Normally you would mix ground beef with some Italian sausage, but I only have ground beef, so we're working with that. Okay, so first we're going to start off by seasoning the meat really well because nobody wants to eat tasteless meatballs. Sorry guys. Next, I'm adding in 5 to 6 cloves of minced garlic because let's just face it, 1 to 2 cloves is just never enough. So now I'm adding in the 2 eggs, and then I'm going to be using my KitchenAid mini chopper to finely chop the Parmesan cheese. But before I can do that, I need to plug it in, the crystal. Anyways, I love doing my Parmesan cheese this way. This is so much better than that stuff in the green can. You know, that craft stuff. Anyways, I'm also using the chopper to make my breadcrumbs. I've got 3 slices of bread and boom, I've got fresh breadcrumbs, and it's cheaper than store-bought and it's a lot fresher. So I'm adding the breadcrumbs and the cheese to my meat mixture, and it's time to mix everything up. So now that everything is mixed up, it's time to make the meatballs. I'm using my meatball stuffer. I'll have a link to that in the description box. I found it on Amazon. This is my first time using it, so we'll be learning about it together. Anyways, I'm putting in the meat and then I close it up, and the white part makes the little indentions on one side. So here I'm putting in the string cheese, and then you're supposed to smush it together and have meatballs. Well, I only got 2 out of 4, so I added more meat and then I tried it again, and this time I was able to get all 4 meatballs. So I'm using a spoon to get them out, and these suckers are huge, but this is a pretty nifty gadget. I was able to make 13 meatballs out of the 2 pounds of ground beef. So the next step is to go ahead and get them cooked. So I'm using my 5-quart Le Creuset brazier, and I've got 24 ounces of spaghetti sauce, and I'm adding the meatballs, and then I'm going to cover them with another 24 ounces of sauce. Use your favorite spaghetti sauce, store-bought, or you can make your own. And then I'm going to cover it, and then I'm going to place it into my Breville Smart Oven Air using the slow cooker function, and I'm going to cook the meatballs on high for 2.5 hours. After 2.5 hours, this is what the meatballs look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut into one. You can see some of the cheese has oozed out, but that's expected. So let's see what the middle looks like. So the meat is done, and although some of the cheese did come out, there's still some in there, so it's pretty cool. My kids got a kick out of it. Now it's time to get rid of this fat. So obviously the ground beef released a lot of fat while it was cooking, so I'm using my fat separator to get rid of that because we don't want that. So here's what the meatballs look like with the fat removed, and then I topped it with the remaining Parmesan cheese and some parsley. I tossed some of the sauce with some pasta, and I'll put a link in the description box to a video of how I do my homemade spaghetti. And then I also put some frozen yeast rolls to bake in the Breville oven, and then I topped them with a little butter. So here's a meatball plated with some pasta, and believe me, it tasted as good as it looks. And I also served this with a nice side salad. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching, and remember, get out of that drive-thru and get into the kitchen. Bye!